Hello, my friends. I have a brand new camera and a brand new phone, and I have the same cat. That's my darling cat, Violet. Violet, would you like to say hello? Maybe she'll get up or down. But anyway, I have a wonderful book. This is called Before She Was Harriet. And this is a story about Harriet Tubman, who's one of the, if not the, bravest woman that ever lived. She's amazing. It's written by Lesa Cline-Ransome and illustrated by James E. Ransom. Look at these great illustrations. Oh, hello, Harriet. Oh, and then look at this cheerful yellow they used for the inside, the end papers. I love this book because there's not that many words. The pictures themselves kind of tell the story. And here comes a train. Really nice paper stock too. Before She Was Harriet. And here's a picture of waiting for the train back in those days. This was about the time she was doing her great work. And she did it for a long time. Here she sits, an old woman, tired and worn, her legs stiff, her back achy. Here she is. This is her when she was older. Her legs stiff, her back achy. Hi, Harriet. Thanks for all you did. But before wrinkles formed and her eyes failed, before she reached her twilight years, she could walk for miles and see clearly under a sky lit with only stars. This is her when she was young. She could see clearly under a sky lit with only stars. Hi, Harriet. Brave Harriet. Before she was an old woman, she was a suffragist, a voice for women who had none, in marriages, in courts, in voting booths. Before her voice became soft and raspy, it was loud and angry, rising above injustice. Here she is, giving her speech to a nice crowd. And it says up here, I know it's backwards here, National American Women Suffragist Association. That's what that banner says. Before she was a suffragist, she was General Tubman, rising out of the fog, armed with courage, strong in the face of rebels and planters and overseers as they watched fields burn and bridges fall and 700 slaves stop chopping and start running to a woman who ferried them to freedom on the Combahee River, turned River Jordan. Look at that. Look at her. Ferrying all the slaves to freedom. That was before she was a suffragette, but it's still pretty suffragette-ish what she was doing. Before she was General Tubman, she was a Union spy, carrying secrets across battlefields to soldiers fighting in the Civil War for President Lincoln to end slavery. Look at her. She's behind the tree, and she's hiding from the troops. She must have been afraid, but she was so brave. Hi, Harriet. Oh, thank you. Before she was a Union spy, she was a nurse, caring for those hit with bullets and hatred and fear, tending to them with bandages and words in the bloodied dirt of Southern soil. She started out as a nurse, helping the soldiers who were fighting in the war. Before she was a Union spy, she was a nurse. And before she was a nurse, she was Aunt Harriet, daughter of Ben and Rit, who helped her parents flee their master and find their way through woods and streams to the safety of Canada and a new home in the north. There they are, going to their new home. Let's look at their faces, so happy. She helped her parents. She was smart even as a very young girl. Before she was Aunt Harriet, she was Moses, a conductor on an underground railroad with no trains and no tracks, just passengers traveling to freedom. Up north, through swamps, past slave catchers, across rivers, under cover of night. There they are, going through the water, so silent. They knew they needed to get to safety, and she knew how to help them. I admire her so much. They were seeking the promised land. She was seeking the promised land for her people, led by dreams and God and faith, a wisp of a woman with the courage of a lion. There she is praying, looking down on the village, praying full moon for more courage to help people be free. These illustrations are so beautiful. Before she was Moses, she was Minty of Maryland, of one slave owner, and then others who worked her, punished her with lashes, broke her back, but not her spirit. There she is as a slave. They didn't break her spirit, but they punished her, they whipped her. She knew that wasn't right. We know that's not right. Before she was Minty, she was Araminta, a young girl taught by her father to read the woods and the stars at night, readying her for her destiny. It was her father teaching her about the stars so she could know her directions. Araminta. She'd leave behind slavery along with her name and pick a new one, Harriet. She picked a new name for herself, Harriet. Have you ever thought of picking a new name for yourself? I've often thought of that because my parents gave it to me, but I think I know me better than my parents do. I just haven't figured out what it is yet. She picked a new one, Harriet, and remember her days as a suffragist, as a general, as a spy, as a nurse, as Aunt Harriet, as Moses, and as a conductor. There she is, older, being helped up the stairs by a gentleman in her older age. As Minty as Araminta, who dreamed of living long enough to one day be old and stiff and achy, tired and worn and wrinkled and free. And she made it. Thank you, Harriet. She made hundreds and hundreds of other people free. The guiding force of all the women who have led the way through courage, strength, perseverance, and intellect, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Frannie Lou Hamer, Toni Morrison, Michelle Obama, Viola Davis, Anne Sneed, Ernestine Klein, to Black women who have carried the weight of family and work with grace and dignity. One of my favorite books ever. Gives me the chills. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here with this. Books are so exciting. They make your mind go places you never even dreamed of. It's all in your head and all in your heart. And you always get to keep those stories. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.